What is it about multiplayer games that draws you into play? Of course, gameplay, visuals, progression, and accessibility play a major part, but at the core of a great game lies a great shared experience. So in this video, we'll look into Arc Raiders, a game about fulfilling the role of a raider in a robot apocalypse where humans only return to the surface to scavenge for loot and try not to be killed. And for me, why I believe it can be the best game at giving us a shared experience where social interactions and teamwork provide us with a sense of belonging in its dynamic and unpredictable gameplay. Arc Raiders, developed by Embark, the same studio that brought us the finals, has now made the best multiplayer game I've ever played. Loot, survive, extract is the goal of the game, and what the game offers you in terms of gameplay in between and during these moments is what makes the game so special to play and experience. I'll share with you 3 reasons why this is the best multiplayer game I've ever played, and how other games like it didn't hit the mark for the broader audience I believe Arc Raiders will achieve. These are things you can look into when choosing a multiplayer game yourself right now, so even if you aren't interested in Arc Raiders, this video will help you think creatively when choosing your next game to play with friends or to make new connections and foster new friendships. Shared experience is an event, feeling, or circumstance that individuals or groups go through together, creating a sense of connection and community. In a nutshell, what is giving you a moment between people? By going through something together, people develop a feeling of belonging. This in games can lead to fun, exciting moments that are memorable and help bring us back to the reason why we even play games in the first place: to have fun. And although that sounds simple, not all multiplayer games achieve this. So why is it an extraction game that led me to saying it's the best at offering the shared experience when extraction shooters are known for being harsh, unforgiving, and stressful in its gameplay? This is reason number 1. Extraction shooters are fun, actually. First of all, let's define it. Extraction shooters are a genre of video games where players enter a map to loot and gear with the objective of extracting alive. Most notably, if players die before extracting, they lose everything they brought in, which makes for high stakes and careful gameplay. While unforgiving and stressful, those moments of unpredictability in-game gives a sense of thrill that by human nature we seek to have. Not everyone, of course, but it is very common for people to want that feeling, to think everything is at stake, and extraction shooters do that by not allowing you to always keep the loot and gear you've obtained. The high risk and reward factor leads to either you losing valuable items or succeeding in getting the best gear you've gotten yet. This is a great idea for a game, but again is extremely harsh to play. Escape from Tarkov, Hunt Showdown, and other well-known extraction shooters play into this premise by including player versus player combat so that players are competing against one another for the best loot and gear. Player versus environment elements are also involved in some extraction shooters to level out the experience so that it's not only other players you have to watch out for, but several focus more on PvP than PvE. One point many claim to be a problem in these games is how rare those moments of thrill are, which make people wonder if it is even worth playing to get those few seconds of excitement. This is for the player to decide for themselves, but what can be said definitively is extraction shooters, even though they have a huge dedicated player base, lack the broader audience other games have. The demanding nature of extraction shooters creates barriers for a broader audience that prefers more casual or forgiving gaming experiences. Now, what if we stripped away some of the harsh elements but kept the core premise intact? That's exactly what Arc Raiders has successfully achieved. Essentially, Arc Raiders was intentionally made for a more welcoming experience into an extraction shooter without it feeling overwhelming, too harsh, or impossible to play. Arc Raiders still has some of the features that make extraction shooters difficult, and the core of the game still involves gathering loot and successfully extracting to keep it. However, it also has some gameplay features that allow players to not have to worry about the loss of progress and systems in place so that people aren't worried about every round they play, such as having an option to go in with a free loadout that limits your inventory but randomizes a gun for you to go in with. The fact that Arc Raiders is making a solid attempt at making the experience less frustrating to play is one of the reasons why I have been enjoying Arc Raiders so much. When a game is confident about its premise and the objective to make it the best it can be, that is when a game shines the most. Before moving on to the next reason why this is the best multiplayer game I've ever played, and then finally diving into what makes it the best game at giving us a shared experience, I want to close this segment I ended too early. I mentioned that the problem most extraction shooters have is the rarity of thrilling moments, leading to most people not wanting to deal with this genre just so they can get those few seconds of excitement. In my experience of playing Arc Raiders, I was having fun the entire entire time. Even when I failed to extract, even when I failed to win a fight, even when I couldn't get the loot that I wanted. All the way through, I was enjoying the game. How? Because Arc Raiders is awesome. The best part of this game is just the fact that everything feels so intentional. They know the game they want to make, and they know the feeling they want the players to have, and they make sure everything supports that. The foundation this game was built from, the core of what this game is so focused and particularly put together for, is why I think I've been enjoying this game more than any other multiplayer game out now. What is that? The focus on fun. For me, what I look for in games is stunning visuals, gameplay that feels great to play, and a fascinating story that drives me to play. Arc Raiders checks all of these boxes and sets out to accomplish even more. The gameplay of Arc Raiders involves adventuring onto the surface to gather loot and then extracting before it's too late. Multiple factors will stop you from extracting if you aren't careful: players, time limits, and most notably, arcs. These are robots that will stop at nothing to end you. The arcs use machine learning and aren't scripted events, which makes their presence just as unpredictable as they are scary. Oh, and I haven't even mentioned the biggest reason why this game works so well: the sound design.
Oh my god, this game is awesome.
That arc over there, you can feel its presence. It makes you constantly on your toes and always anticipating that something will happen. Even when you get away from an arc, the sound it brings just makes you want to think about every decision you make. The conflict of this game comes from that unpredictability and why the thrill of the game is so exciting and immersive to experience. This is an extraction shooter after all. However, it's much more special than that. Extraction shooters are a genre I thought were cool, but not welcoming enough for me to have any intrigue to play. Arc Raiders change that. Arc Raiders feels immersive. Arc Raiders encourages player expression and cooperation through in-game voice chat that's proximity based, and there's a clear objective to extract, but you are given enough time to loot, meet people, and face arcs if you choose to. What you do is up to you, and when you do finally extract, it is intense and cinematic. Arc Raiders movement systems are satisfying and intuitive. Progression is rewarding when you put in effort to progress through skill trees. There's a sense of accomplishment present that gives you a reason to keep playing. It's dynamic and unpredictable gameplay where it matches you against human opponents and AI enemies introduce an element of surprise and excitement that keeps the game feeling fresh. None of these things are extraction shooters specific. They are simply elements a game can have. So why is it that Arc Raiders does all of these things so flawlessly where other extraction shooters feel lacking? Reason number 3. Arc Raiders at its core is a social game, and I believe it is the best at offering this shared experience. Unlike scripted single-player adventures, multiplayer games introduce the unpredictability of human players creating unique, memorable, and often hilarious moments.
You can come in.
Can you all wait for my brother, please?
Yeah, we can wait. Here, don't extract yet. Oh, sorry, he called it.
I've already talked about shared experience and it being linked to why we even play multiplayer games in the first place, but what makes Arc Raiders a standout in providing a great social experience? The answer? You. You get to decide if you want to work with the person you've spotted or if you want to fight them and take their loot. You get to make the decisions every round, every time you come across someone in game. That is what makes Arc Raiders so special at providing the shared experience, because every time you make that decision, it also applies to that other person, not just you. If you decide to team up with someone, great. Now you have someone to watch your back while you watch theirs. If you decide that the loot someone has is yours, let's see how they like that idea. Depending on the decision you choose, you will end up having a different story to tell. It's all up to you. This is what makes Arc Raiders a great multiplayer game most of all, and why it feels so real and connected. All of the elements combined, from the gameplay, visuals, progression, and options this game has on the table to experience, contribute to making Arc Raiders the amazing game it is, and I can't wait to see where it goes from here and hop on the game to have more memories on it. Thank you for watching. The fact that you made it to the end of this video is amazing in itself, so thank you. I appreciate you taking the time out of your day to watch this, and if you'd like to see more videos from me, then make sure to like the video. I mainly make virtual reality videos, but I also make video essays from time to time, and also have other gaming content. If you're here for Arc Raiders, I made a video on the best match I've played so far, where I formed the biggest squad as an introvert. It was a lot of fun and an incredible experience. I haven't decided if I should keep making videos on Arc Raiders or not, but do let me know what you think in the comments.
Let's go do this. There's gonna be one person that's gonna gonna shoot us all down.
I have no idea how to lead 6 people at once, and I barely know what I'm doing